Hello everybody and welcome back to another episode of Pointless Top 10, a show where we make top 10 lists of pointless things, why we're flying by his pointless statue in Booty Bay, because inside pointless things are treasure. Let's begin. 10. Number 10 are the water wheels located at Bradenbrook in Val'Sharah and in Gilneas. And at first I was going to have these water wheels be separate, and then I realized that they're actually the exact same water wheel, just in different locations. But there is one thing that separates the two, and that is one is connected on both sides, and the other one has one of the sides missing. So you can actually see the metal piece that goes in the center rotating on top of the water wheel, which I actually think is pretty cool because they could have not animated that at all, you know what I mean? But they actually went ahead and did animate it. And apparently that is called the axis or the shaft. But I actually really like the aesthetic of this wheel. Like, it's very rustic, and it makes sense that it would be in Gilneas and in Bradensbrook, right? Like, it's got these planks that have moss growing all over, and then the actual the paddles, which is like the inner parts of the wheel, also have that plank vibe. I think some are planks, but some are like bigger chunks of wood. I just think it's a really cool looking water wheel. I do think the one in Bradensbrook looks a bit cooler, where it's attached to both sides of the hill and then the water's pouring down from the waterfall and going through. So you actually kind of see it in action. It's next to this cozy little cottage. And I'm not actually sure if the Gilneas one has always been like this, because I know the cataclysm happened. Obviously nobody lives here anymore. So maybe this got broken, or the thing it was attached to broke off. I have no idea, but you know, it's the same wheel. It still looks cool, and we get a little peek inside of it. And so that's why both these water wheels that are the same water wheel are number 10. 9. Number 9 are the high mountain water wheels, and these are water wheels that are located up in the mountains of High Mountain. And I put them at number 9 because they are really cool. I love the designs on all these water wheels. They're very simplistic. You know, it's not like this massive wheel. In fact, I think these are probably the most basic water wheels on this entire list. But my main question is, what is their purpose? Because a lot of other water wheels are powering something, right? Like, even in real life, water wheels are, according to Wikipedia, used for milling flour, grinding wood into pulp for paper making, hammering wrought iron, ore crushing, and pounding fiber for use in the manufacturing of cloth. But it doesn't really seem like these are doing any of that. They're just kind of spinning around because the water from the waterfall is coming down and hitting them. Maybe they're trying to slow the water from the waterfall down for some reason. Like, that's all I could think of, because I don't see anything these wheels would be powering. But maybe I'm crazy. Maybe I'm just completely missing it. So if you know, comment down below. But I tried to even find some real life examples of this, and I just couldn't find any. So maybe the High Mountain Tauren really do just like the aesthetic of it. But either way, that's why the High Mountain water wheels are number 9. 8. Number 8 is this big water wheel located in Borealis near the lumberyard. And I was trying to figure out what this water wheel was actually powering, because I thought it would be the sawmill with all these logs all around, but then I saw the sawmill is like in a different building across from this. So I was like, okay, and it's attached to this building, which has no way of seeing inside of it. So I don't know what's going on inside of this building. Maybe they're processing the lumber and using the water wheel energy for some sort of processing. I have no idea, but that's my best guess. But aside from determining what it's being used for, the actual construction of the water wheel is phenomenal. Like, it just looks extremely well built. It looks like it was designed and constructed by an expert craftsman, or a team of expert craftsmen that were like, yo, we gotta create one of the best water wheels. And so they did it. Like, it just looks really good. However, with that being said, I think it does lack a little bit of flavor, right? It's just a very basic, well-constructed water wheel. And there's something to be said for that, but sometimes you want something a little fun and different. Like, if this was a World of Warcraft race, this wheel would be a human. Like, that is what it is. And so for that reason, that's why I put it at number 8. 7. Number 7 is the water wheel at the Cindermead Brewery in the Isle of Dorn. And this is a thick water wheel, dude. I feel like if I had to compare this one to a WoW race, it would be a dwarf. Like, this is the most dwarven water wheel I have seen. I should just compare every water wheel to a WoW race at this point. And it actually feels like this water wheel is going the slowest out of any of the water wheels. And I don't know why. Maybe it's just so big and heavy that it's rotating slowly. Like, I have no idea. I was also curious why there's a lot of water wheels at breweries, and so I found a Reddit comment, so it has to be true. Breweries were always built on a spring or river. The finished barrels or kegs might travel some distance by wagon, but not the water for the brewery. A water wheel was often used to power a pump to carry river water uphill. Then the breweries were built to be gravity flow from there. Or wait, be gravity flow? Do they mean let gravity flow? I'm not sure, but I get what they're saying, because they say that's why finished beer was always in the cellar. So there we go, some water wheel brewery facts and a cool water wheel, and that's why It's number 7. 6. Speaking of breweries, number 6 are the water wheels at the Storm Stout Brewery in the Valley of the Four Winds in Mist of Pandaria. And so this is actually pretty interesting because one of the water wheels here is the exact same one that they have in Borealis. So I think the Pandas actually made it first. I was praising the Borealis one with their expert craftsmanship and everything, but like the pandas, the drunk pandas ended up making it first. But then there's also this smaller water wheel that we haven't seen before, but I actually think this might be a simplified version of the bigger water wheel because they both have the water paddles, the thing that are going into the water, and they have little markings on them, and each of the water wheels actually has the same markings. So yeah, I put this higher up on the list. 1, because we have 2 water wheels here. 2, because they actually invented this water wheel and not the Borealis people. And 3, it's also attached to a brewery, which we talked about. So I had to put this higher up on the list. Plus, I think it just looks really cool here in the Valley of the Four Winds, sitting on the river with the breweries there. And it gives me Studio Ghibli vibes a bit. You know what I'm saying? So that's why I had to put it at number 6. 5. Number 5 is the Hallowfall water wheel, and this is probably one of the best looking water wheels in the game because it was literally designed in this expansion that we're currently in, the War Within. Even the birds thought this was a really cool water wheel. Look at that. They put their nest up here. There's some eggs in there. It even has a very fitting aesthetic with a lot of the metal bits on the water wheel matching the Hallowfall Arathi logo design. And so it just feels like that the people that designed this water wheel actually put some thought into it. They didn't just, reuse a water wheel from, say, I don't know, Mist of Pandaria. That'd be crazy if they did something like that. But listen, I can see why they reused water wheels, right? It's a lot of time and effort to put into certain things, and you're like, do we really want to make an entire new water wheel? But I would say it makes sense in this situation because this is farmland. It fits, I think, the Hallowfall Arathi theme, and so I can see why they did it, and I'm glad they did it because I've been wanting to make top 10 water wheels for a while, and the War Within finally gave me enough water wheels to really push this list over the edge, and so that's why the Hallowfall Arathi water wheels are number 5. 4. Number 4 is actually one that we've seen before. It's the one that's at the Storm Stout Brewery in the Valley of the Four Winds. However, this location in the Jade Forest has taken it and repainted it to be red and gold. And I actually think it looks a lot better. It pops more. It fits the village that it's in more. And it's cool because it's right near this big waterfall. So the waterfall's like coming down and hitting the wheel, and then that's kind of powering the wheel to turn. So I really like the location of this water wheel. I think it's nice that we can actually see the designs more clearly because of the gold. And then the water wheel actually matches all the houses in the area with the same red gold colorization as well. So yeah, even though this water wheel is a reused water wheel, I like that they've taken it and they've just put their own spin on it, right? They didn't just slap it there and be like, it's some brown wood water wheel that just is going to be in the village. They're like, nah, dude, let's spice it up. Let's make it fit the village. And that's what they did. And so I love that. And so that's why this water wheel is number 4. 3. Number 3 are the Stone Dark Grotto and Muck Snout Den water wheels located in High Mountain. And these are some really cool water wheels because they are made out of stone. And we're so used to seeing all these wooden water wheels all over the place above ground, but now we go into these caves and we get to see these massive stone water wheels, and it looks awesome. And there's not just 1 or 2 of these. Like, these are located all over the place, which makes me curious of how they actually went about building these things and making sure they worked, but who am I to question their methods? Whatever they did, it worked great. So props to them. But yeah, I just really like the way the water wheels look. I think the stone looks great. I think the water pouring over the wheel also looks really cool. Like the rushing water is kind of overtaking this big stone wheel, but obviously it's made out of stone, so it's just kind of splashing over the sides. It feels very natural, you know what I mean? Plus, it's not every day you see a water wheel made out of stone, and so that's why I had to put it at number 3. 2. Number 2 is a water wheel located at the Dawn's Blossom, which is a town in the Jade Forest in the Mist of Pandaria. And this is probably one of the most unique water wheels in the game. It has these buckets attached to it, and then it looks like the water rushes into the bucket, and then that kind of propels the wheel forward, and then it goes up, and then the water falls out, and it just kind of does that over and over. And at first, I thought the water wheel was going backwards, because I was like, wait, why are the buckets not filling up with water? It's like putting the bottom of the bucket down first, but then I realized what was happening. And so there's actually an entire Reddit post about this exact water wheel where somebody was like, the water wheel's going backwards. And people were just arguing in the comments being like, it's not going backwards. It's just crazy to see an entire thread about a water wheel. But that's exactly why I had to put this high up on the list. Not only because it's a unique water wheel, but it got people to argue about a water wheel in World of Warcraft, and that's pretty pointless, and so that's why it's number 2. And number 1 is the massive water wheel located at the Cragpool Lake in the Stone Talon Mountains. And I'm sure a lot of people saw this one coming, but when I think of a water wheel in World of Warcraft, this is just the first one that I think of. Like, it goes all the way back to classic WoW. It is just this massive water wheel. This is where a lot of people died in hardcore WoW, and you could just see all the gears and stuff turning. It's just, this is such a ginormous water wheel that it's actually really cool to see up close when you're just analyzing the wheel itself and not trying to die to the Venture Co. killing you on your level 25 character. I don't remember what exact level you come here at. I think it's like mid-20s. And I even love the way the water is pouring over the crag onto the wheel, and the fact that they put the wheel up way high on these giant beams makes it even crazier to look at. It's just probably one of the biggest and most iconic things in the entire Stone Talon Mountains, and so how could I not put it at the top of the list? And so that's why the massive Windshear Crag water wheel is number 1. Hey everybody, thanks for watching this episode of Pointless Top 10. If you want more top 10s, you can check out water wells. That kind of ties into this. Or you go check out random NPCs if you want something completely different. Also, like, comment, subscribe, and consider supporting the channel over on patreon.com/wowcrendor or by becoming a channel member. Okay? Okay. See you.